it's very good to meet a lot of business people, no? Because you're gonna learn something from their experiences. So there's a lot of business people that we're gonna meet today. Now, I'm not gonna prolong your excitement. Let's go on to Miss Kate Cacharo for the analysis of industrial and the 5 factors. Miss Kate?
Thank you, Miss Hardy Patriana. Good day, everyone. I am Kate Cacharo, and you're watching the Buzziness Stuff. Today, we'll be talking about the analysis of the industrial environment and the 5 forces that affect firms' competitiveness. To better understanding of this topic, we'll be asked the 2 successful businesswomen in the Philippines. Let's welcome Miss Kirsty Nabao and Miss Norjanisa Magotara. Now, about the industry environment analysis this is traditionally the second stage of strategic analysis. Its purpose is to determine the level of competitive pressure of your business and it's likely to be exposed to in the foreseeable future. All of these industry factors place you and your business under considerable price pressure. I'd like to ask you, Ms. Abao, as a good leader, how will you need to understand the forces at work in your industry environment? And have you considered your possible responses to identified opportunities and threats?
Thank you, Ms. Cacharo. So in completing your analysis, you will be seeking answers to questions like, what is the profitability of the industry likely to be? And will there be an increase or a decrease in competition in your industry? For example, if you are a generic timber furniture manufacturer and you sell exclusively to one large retail outlet, the buyer of your products will probably be considerable power in the relationship, as it would be easy for the retail chain to switch to one of your competitors' products. Further, there are limited barriers of new manufacturer to enter into the generic timber furniture manufacturing industry. There could be any number of eager to start up businesses anywhere in the world that might try to influence your customers to buy from them, and your customers could choose to start up their own furniture manufacturing business, eliminating the need for them to buy from the furniture manufacturer altogether. As a strategic leader, you will need to gain and maintain a thorough understanding of the nature of your industry and use this knowledge to position your business to minimize the effect of the competitive forces of your industry. In addition to navigating your business to a successful future you, as a strategic manager, you will also be able to apply your industry knowledge daily to motivate staff and build company spirit.
Alright, thank you, Ms. Abao. So, your analysis can be brainstormed with a group or completed on your own. Brainstorming with a cross-section of people in your business can be very fruitful. Alright, so let's proceed for the Porter's 5 forces model. Consists of 5 forces that impact the level of competition in your industry. I would like to ask you, Ms. Magutara, for each force, there are a set of questions you can ask about your industry. Now, how you will help to gain an understanding of the key competitive forces likely to affect your industry in the future?
Most people think of business competition as a tug of war between rivals, with each competing for more sales or market share. But according to Harvard Business School Professor Michael Porter, competition is more complex than that. It is not about who is the biggest, it is about who is the most profitable. And profitability is defined by 5 competitive forces. So let's start with your buyer or customers, who would always be happier to pay less and get more. In the airline industry, price competition is fierce because so many travelers just want the cheapest flight. Then there are your suppliers who ideally to be paid more and deliver less. Powerful suppliers will use their quotes to raise the prices. For instance, on other more favorable terms, a third source of competition came from substitute product or services that meet the same basic need you do. These are not always obvious rivals, but the toughest competitors may came from different industry. The fourth is the new entrant can also create tension. For instance, Southwest Airlines changed the industry by flying just one kind of airplane, reducing cost and allowing it to offer better ticket deals. This push other carriers to spend more to retain their customers. Finally, you still have to fight your existing rivals, and intense competitions reduce everyone's profitability. The major airlines have been in the position for years, forcing them to define increasingly narrow profit margin with exist flow upgrade, check bag, and event snap. These five forces define every industry structure and shape your company's future. Once you understand them, you can make better predictions, create more competitive strategies, and increase your profit. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the very informative message and information about the analysis of industrial environment and the five Porter's forces. And that's the end of my interviews. Once again, this is Kate Kachar, the Buzziness Talk. Back to you, Miss Patriana.
Wow! Thank you so much, Miss Kate Cacharo. So for our last topic for today, we're gonna have the industry analysis. So we'll have Miss Renal Cabalquinto for her exclusive interview for these two big people in the industry. Miss Renalyn?
Now, we are going to talk about what is strategy. So, what is strategy? A strategy is a plan of actions taken by managers to achieve the company overall goals and other subsidiary goals. It often determines the success of the company. So, in strategy, a company is essentially asking itself, where do you want to play and how you are going to win? The following guides give a high-level overview of a business strategy, its implementation, and other processes that lead to business success. This is Renalyn Joy Cabalquinto. Today, we are going to interview these two beautiful and influential hotel managers. Help me welcome Miss Cuevas from XYZ Hotel Company and together with Miss Pacana from 3A Hotel.
Thank you, Miss Ren, for the warm welcome.
Oh, thank you for welcoming us. It was such a privilege guesting here, Miss Rena.
So how are you guys doing?
I am actually fine and of course grateful to God Almighty.
Well, life was been tough lately, but I'm doing great too.
That's good to hear that both of you are doing fine. So Miss Cuevas, what are the strategies you apply to your company to become a greater firm or a corporation?
To develop business strategy, a company needs a very well-defined understanding of what it is and what it represents. My company applies the vision, mission, values so that the company have had a clear goal why it exists and who are the target markets, and of course its competences and its weaknesses. Consistency is also one of the strategy to develop our firm. Why? Because a consistent company is more likely to improve in all aspects and that the customers won't adjust if there is something to renew or either way.
How about you, Miss Pacana? What are the strategies you apply to your company to become a greater firm or a corporation?
The strategies that I can apply to my company is that the firm must develop the product and services that we will provide to our customers because the customers is the center of the business and the best thing we can give them is satisfaction. And this will help the company to build strong relationship and loyalty from our target market. And always remember, the customers is one of the most important asset in business because without them we can't earn profit and there is no business. So back to you, Rena.
That's amazing. So now we are going to talk about industry analysis and competition. So the competition within an industry is grounded in its underlying economic structures. It goes beyond the behavior of our current competitors. The state of the competition in an industry depends upon the five basic competitive forces. The collective strength of these forces determines profit potential in the industry. So, the profit potential is measured in terms of long-term return and invested capital. This time, what are your strategic actions to win over your competitors? Miss Cuevas, any idea?
Well, firms compete not only with multinational corporations but also with intrants and small players. With similar products and services developed, strategic groupings and intense competition exist. For me, the best strategic action to implement the company is securing business plan beforehand because it is very essential thing to do that in business industry. We always stay on the ground and the company makes sure that all the customers will be satisfied with their stay at the hotel and have had met their expectations. Groups in the industry remain stable over time in performance, and analysis of their competitive strategy could be made easier for the other groups within the industry.
That was actually good to begin with. So incredible. So, Miss Pacana, what can you say about what are your strategic actions to win over your competitors?
Well, there are so many strategies to win over your competitors, but I only give you two strategies. Yes, two strategies. So first is know your competitors. This is one of the best thing is knowing your competitors' weaknesses and strength so that you can enhance your business platforms and make more opportunities to your target market. Second is know your customers. As the businesswoman, you should understand your customers' wants and needs and fulfill those expectations. This expectation includes latest products, low prices, and excellent services. In this case, you can picture out where you are most competitive. So back to you, Rena.
A massive applause to this powerful woman with me.
Oh, thank you.
I like your energy today, Miss Rena.
So, there are 5 forces of competition, right? So, what do you think is the best among the 5? Miss Cuevas and Miss Pacana, can you share your answer?
When you want to start a business, create a business, or even explore new market segments with existing companies, one of the first and most important steps to take is to assess the attractiveness of each segment carefully. In my point of view, rivalry among the competing firms outstand among the 5 competitive forces of Porters. In this regard, one must keep in mind the direct competitors, especially those who sell the same type of product in the same market segment, for the same type of consumers who share common needs or wants.
Well, for me, the best forces of competition among those 5 is bargaining power of suppliers. We all know that suppliers are able to raise prices, lower the quality, and reduce availability. And these things can be disruptive for normal business operation for several reasons. Here's the example, and I will give you 2 scenarios. First, when a gasoline station buy a foil from many suppliers, let's say 1,000 suppliers, then here the bargaining power of suppliers is low. While in the second scenario is when a gasoline station buy a foil from a few suppliers, let's say 1 to 2 suppliers only, remember that transportation costs are too high to buy foil from distant refineries. So here refineries have strong bargaining power as their clients do not have many alternative options nga mga suppliers. So mo nang mutaas ang bargaining power sa supply. That's all. So back to you, Rena.
Thank you for your wonderful answer, Miss Cuevas and Miss Pacana.
Thank you also for having me here together with Miss Pacana. It's so good guesting here.
You said it right, Miss Cuevas. I too was overwhelmed to share the same thoughts. And again, thank you, Miss Rena, for inviting us here as your guest. I really appreciate it.
It was an honor to have you guys here in the show, and it was a pleasure to learn more about preparation and strategic actions. You both share different perspectives. Once again, thank you, and that's the end of my interviews. I am Renalyn Joy Cabalquinto, and this is Buzziness Talk. Back to you, Patriana.
Thank you, Miss Renalyn. So what a wrap. We're done with our interview with the 10 big people in the industry. So I hope, guys, that you learned something from this episode of the Buzziness Talk. And for those aspiring entrepreneurs, hope you grasp an information that you're gonna use for the future and for the challenges that you're gonna face. So again, this is Hortime Patriana. Thank you very much, and hopefully we're gonna meet soon. So this is the Buzziness Talk. Thank you very much. Adelante.